Alright. Good evening and welcome on board this boat. This is where we talk about everything. This is a sanctuary for free speech. And what we're gonna talk about tonight is this news about the undercover nurse at the epicenter hospital of the pandemic. And this is what I'm talking about, you know. Let me show you a clip.
There's good people, but they're outnumbered.
So what happens? People come in like this 37-year-old, and what was he complaining of, or what was going on?
Respiratory distress. He didn't have COVID either. He did not have COVID.
And how do we know that?
I took care of him. I have the same type of results from his chart as I do with my other patient.
It was like the day before intubation, he was fine on the rebreather.
And then they intubated, and then he got a pneumo, and then they put in a test tube, and then it's been shipped.
And now he's 37 years old and dead.
Because that's what I'm seeing, like all these negative tests, and they're putting them on these vents. Hopeful that they'll get it. They're being put on these COVID floor. It's murder. It straight up is. It is setting these people up for failure based on money.
But Medicaid is who pays out, or who's paying this bonus of $29,000?
I believe it's Medicaid, Medicare. It's government money, but I don't know exactly where it's coming from. But I know that it is. But I know the orders are coming from the above, someone above, and everybody says that it's someone higher up. I'm like, good, call them. Like during that DNR when they're telling us, or the full code when they're telling us not to, do CPR. I'm like, all right, call your higher ups then. Let's talk about. And they wouldn't, because they're all scared. Everybody's scared.
What killed him? Did the vent kill him?
Yeah. Oh yes. They're so sedated. He had probably 8 or 9 drips. It's all sedation. It's all sedation and paralytics. So you are asleep. It is essentially like you're under, you're in surgery, when they put you under like that for a good month straight. There's no way you can recover from something like that. You'll be brain dead if you do. So if you look close, I'm in my patient's chart. I am pulling up like their laboratory results. So if you look here, you'll see COVID-19 bioreference lab. Here are the test results. As you can see, 5/1/2020 at 17:16, not detected. They test for a second time, 5/4/2020 at 17:59, not detected. So both of those are negative. Scroll up to the top. This is my patient. They are on a vent and they are being called COVID-19 confirmed. Droplet in contact and eye protection. So this person is droplet and eye COVID confirmed. Positive A, click, not detected. No resulting lab available. Oh, pretty good.
While Erin was using her hidden camera to document another chart showing a patient with negative test results who nonetheless was labeled COVID confirmed, another travel nurse entered the room. They began to discuss what Erin was seeing.
If it says bioreference,
that's
that means
here.
It's done here.
So not detected here, but
So
it's presumptive. Now they're all...
They are detected. They're saying it's positive. Not detected.
But it's not
What does
detected.
that say? What does that mean?
So
You said that they were vented immediately upon being brought in, is that?
Yeah, so the thing is they're coming in with difficulty breathing, and a lot of these patients are really coming in with anxiety because they're scared. And when I was back home, I was working in the ED out in the tents, and most people that were coming through with like symptoms of just anxiety or they're worried and they're breathing fast, and then they get all nervous. So this is how the people are like coming in. Now, I'm not saying that some of them, don't have COVID. Like there are people that come in and they really do need help. Not to the extent of event, but they need help. But these other people, like this person who wasn't COVID multiple times, and a lot of them are on either Medicaid or Medicare. They're poor. They're from, a lower class. We're at a public hospital. They need the funding. So take them. They take them. And they tell them pretty much that if they don't get on an event, then they're probably not going to survive. But the reality is, if they get on that event, the likelihood of them walking out the hospital is slim to none.
So you can see it's a smoking gun. It is so clear that something, it's not even a smoking gun. This is documented proof of something very sinister and basically murder. And I don't know if you realize what that means, the way she also talks about many of them saying orders from above. And so many people are willing to just like sacrifice the lives of innocent people, putting a healthy man on a ventilator. What kind of psychopathy? I mean, honestly, I'm not that surprised because I've seen it in many places. When you look at the news from all sources, then it's very clear that something sinister is going on. And what is going on here, imagine what it means. Okay, there's political pressure over there. There has been some sort of organized tactical pressure, almost like CIA-like, to hype this disease, this virus. Yes, okay, you might say, okay, yeah, but it's the USA. No, but we're seeing this everywhere. We're seeing a pandemic that was supposed to be very dangerous, very big, and all hyped up by the media, and suddenly it's gone. And we didn't even see any higher death rates on the average. So, what does this mean? It fucking means you start to consider conspiracy theories now, right? This is it is soon the conspiracy theorists' turn to say, "I told you so." Who knows? But it is getting very clear, and this sort of strategic kind of military-like organization that must have been, I mean, you don't just fill a hospital with psychopaths, I mean, it's not some crazy boss at the hospital who did that. This is systematic, on such a level that it is either government or something or someone very well funded. And since it aligns with this agenda, worldwide agenda, to scare everyone, and apparently Bill Gates said nothing would go back to normal before we have the vaccine and everything. It's clearly an agenda to scare the hell out of people and put something in their veins, in my opinion. But somehow it might have failed. And this worries me in a few ways. Because the next move, if there really is such an insidious organization that has an influence over so many countries, to hype up this pandemic, such an influence would mean also they have the they must have another strategy coming. And the next strategy, I suppose, could be, if indeed the virus, the COVID virus, actually existed at all, it could have been bioengineered by that same organization who wishes to hype it. I mean, why not? If an organization wishes to hype something up, such as a pandemic, a virus outbreak, they must also be interested in producing the virus itself to such an extent that they aren't harmed themselves, at least. So, very concerning that since this one seemed to fail, we might see another wave coming, as we already been warned about and predicted by these same, I'm pretty sure it's the same kind of government officials are saying, and Bill Gates for that matter, a second wave is coming. What if the second wave is a more powerful version of the virus, if it existed, or an actual virus if it didn't exist before, and this time it might actually be a virus. Since the limited effect, limited scare of people, if that is indeed the goal, then they might ramp up the next outbreak to something bigger, something much worse. But we could also hope that, or hope, but the other effect of it might just have been this great financial disruption of the worldwide economy. Because this takes away people's private ways of surviving, independent of the state. Suddenly a lot of small businesses has been taken out. Maybe there was, as it looks like, there's someone with insidious intentions towards the population, and we can only hope that they only wanted to kill our private businesses and independent of the government, to make everybody dependent on the government, perhaps, or to cover over the financial reckless, irresponsible policies that's been running this globe for this world economy for so long. So, but the good thing about all this is all this craziness, and people exposing this sort of stuff, and people also exposing Antifa as being an organization trying to provoke violence, physical violence in a strategic way, again, like too organized for just a bunch of communists they say they are, but they're also anti-fascists, and they are a bit like anti-state right now, anarchists. Well, I guess I lost my thread along with the music here. But my point was, Antifa seems another kind of strategy that we are, that the American population is dealing with, that seems also to have an agenda. They're very organized. There was also a whistleblower who exposed how militarily organized Antifa really is, and how their instructor is instructing people on how to gouge an eye out or as he says, like make an eye gouge, and also in what way they can actually be the the violent party, but claiming it's self-defense. Where have we seen this before? What about the U.S. government, for instance, and their defense budget? You know, it's all of their defense. They have to defend them. Defend the biggest military power has to defend itself all over the world, apparently. Yeah, it's getting very, very clear. The only problem is getting people to know about it. So share, comment, like, and if you have some comments about this, I would be happy to well, engage in a conversation about it. Any kind of opinion. Am I paranoid or am I right? See you.